Brandon, I have a very important question for you to start our podcast. To start our return to podcasting, we'll call it.
Podcasting, yes.
Return to podcast.
I feel like we're Brett Favre in a way, where we just keep retiring and then coming back.
We are. We're like a better Brett Favre.
And in a way, nobody asked for it, but we're still going to keep doing it.
No, nobody really wants to see us continue to come back. There's nobody out there going, "Hey, we miss you guys."
There's somebody pointing out how very few followers we have, but however,
but we're coming back anyways. And
coming back, we don't care.
In our return, I got a question for you. To start it off. Just start it off in old school styles. Would you rather be a Boston Red Sox or a New York Yankee?
So I don't know. I've changed in this new year.
Have you?
I've gotten a couple pinstripe shirts. I've been looking really good.
Oh no!
Yeah, my socks have been nice and fuzzy. They're pretty clear these days. You know what though? I think I would still rather be a Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Than a New York Yankee.
Yeah. There's a lockout right now.
There is nothing to talk about with baseball.
Nothing. We're probably going to find a way.
In a way, I think we could also, afford to then save it. When they say they're back on, we can say, yeah, you know what? We're back on too. We're in it.
Yeah.
And when the Jays eventually sign Freddie Freeman, then we have something to freak out about.
I so hope that happens. I don't know if I don't know what we've talked about on the podcast anymore because it's been so goddamn
nothing
long.
Relevant, but even still, okay.
I really hope Freddie Freeman's a thing. I really hope Carlos Correa is not. Carlos Correa, by the way.
Means?
Yeah, go for it.
But you know what a lockout means? A lockout means we get to talk. We get to bring you down different storylines.
We're not talking about sports for the majority of this podcast because hockey's a miserable place and football there's enough. But
hockey's a miserable place if you're a Leaf fan. Yep, I agree.
It's a miserable place. Period. It's just if you live in Canada and you watch hockey right now, it's a miserable place. We're gonna avoid it for as long as we can. We're just gonna chat.
Canceled. Yeah,
we're just gonna have fun. We're gonna chat. Yeah, I'd also be a Red Sox. I didn't really throw my answer in there. No chance would ever be a Yankee. No, not a chance in hell.
You know what it is? I think I want the challenge of getting it over the Green Monster.
Yeah. I'm a lefty too. So if I'm trying to pull things over, if I as a lefty ever hit a home run over the Green Monster, I'd be proud of myself. Because that's opposite field
my career
guy Jack City depth. Yeah. Like you're not doing that.
If I at any point hit a ball,
if I went out at any point at any park
that far,
I'd be very proud of myself.
I would like to see how far I could hit one now.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've swung a bat.
Yeah.
Like we're talking like 4 years.
Really?
I'm a much different human being than I was 4 years ago.
Wow. I would be very interested. I've always wanted. That's the one sport I think I've never played recreationally that I've always wanted to.
So fun.
I have no interest in basketball because people take it so seriously. The amount of times working at the arena when we've had to call like the police because it's like there's a basketball fight.
It's just not worth it.
I'm like, we put people in a literal like enclosed dome with blades on their feet, and they can manage to keep themselves more composed.
They don't kill each other.
Than people with fancy shoes and a ball that you put.
I have seen some ridiculous things when it comes to refs and like men's league skates and stuff like that. It's a little. Sure. Some people aren't as composed as you think, but basketball. Pick up basketball just gets way too serious. You got to just go play basketball.
You don't call the cops as often. I feel like how many times?
I've never had to call the cops in my time as
we've had a hairy situation ourselves, and still there was nothing called. We just walked out of it. We got congratulated. Yeah.
No, that's fair.
So but I don't have any interest in that. But baseball,
Baseball's fun, man.
Getting a little beer league going.
Good. Yeah. I think I played slow pitch within the last 4 years, but I haven't actually played an organized game of baseball in like 4 years, and I miss it.
Yeah.
I'm also like 30 pounds heavier than the last time I played baseball. So I feel like it'd be a very different sport now.
So you're making that slide to first base is what you're saying.
I'm not making it to first base is what I'm saying.
No. I mean like positionally when we play.
First seems like a great. I'm way too short to play first, but I'm
really
there for
no. Okay.
I'm 5'9". I'm not very big.
Yeah, I'm an absolute liability throwing the ball. I feel so. Put me in the outfield. I'll go catch it.
All right, perfect. Speaking of size, this is very unrelated. Not unrelated, but Ja Morant.
Yeah,
great basketball player.
Loved him. I loved him since college.
Fantastic.
You know what? That's what I love about the March Madness. That's where I saw him for the first time. It's like perfect.
incredible ball player. Like he's done some really cool things. Like, did you see the block that he had off the backboard? Crazy.
Yeah, I think he's second right now in guard.
Is he?
Yeah, in the West.
Wicked. John Morant is 6'1".
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Right? 6'1", John Morant.
Probably listed at 6'1", yeah.
I'm 5'9". So I'm 4 inches shorter than John Morant. Okay. Apparently, according to my measurements and the NBA's measurements, I'm 4 inches shorter than John Morant.
Why do they give everything in meters? I don't know what it is in meters.
John Morant weighs 174 pounds.
Right.
I weigh 180 to 185 on a bad day.
So he's 6'3", 174.
He's 4 inches taller than me, and he's 5 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And he's a lot of muscle too, you know. Like
yeah.
A lot of just like.
I thought muscle weighed more than fat.
Apparently not.
So apparently I'm just full of muscle.
But he's got more to spread through. See, being a tall guy, I get that, you know.
I love seeing that on like athletes that like, hey, they're doing that. And here I am sitting at home.
Sometimes I look at like, you know, LeBron James and you see and you're like, wow, how are you just like, how do you human? Even
crazy.
You know what? The Rock. How does The Rock do? He literally looks like a rock. Okay, can we say that? He is.
He's just a boulder. He's a boulder.
But yeah, is he gonna
lay him down, paint him gray, and he's a boulder?
He's no longer The Rock. He's actually moved on to the boulder. He is the boulder. But
that's wild. The biggest thing for me growing up was Conor McGregor because him and I were the same height and the same weight in like grade 12.
Yeah,
and I looked nothing like that, man.
No,
he was just ripped, and there's me, skinny little anorexic looking kid. Great, fantastic time for me.
You wonder what they look like if they were not training so intensely. You know, like if they were just like you and I.
Are they like chubby at that point?
Who knows?
Like, if Conor McGregor just like retired and never did anything, would he be chubby?
I want to know
at this point, you
think, walk around at. You know, like there's like your show weight, let's say, and then like when you go to compete, but then there's there's your walk around.
It's like O lineman in the NFL. Was it Joe Thomas that retired? I think it was. Joe Thomas was an O lineman, right? For the Browns. He retired and he was fat. Then he retired, and like 2 years later, and the guy was absolutely ripped just because like he didn't have to be this big chubby guy holding guys off anymore.
Yeah.
And he just naturally, he's just huge now, just jacked.
I'm sure it's like incredibly tough too to maintain that, you know, to be that lifestyle, either like from a you go from food intake standpoint or from like a overall wear and tear of like you think about what you're asking your body to do on a constant basis. Like the guys that you're going up against too are machines, right? Like they're meant to be like big muscular dudes now, right? You're gone are the days of like a Vince Wilfork coming in and more of a JJ Watt style.
Yeah, you're big and ripped and
absolutely. Yeah. So it's like you're asking these dudes to block that. Like you almost need just weight at that point because it's like you're asking them then to move that much more, right?
I want to see. I was gonna see if I could. Oh, maybe can I share my screen on this thing? Does that work?
I think there's a button for that.
Where is that?
Oh,
we're not good at this.
No,
I can't see because my microphone's in the way.
Okay,
maybe not. There's a fucking link of like the story of Joe Thomas and like what he became. Unbelievable. Just like guy looks like a bodybuilder now. It's like share screen. It's the dead center button, Brandon.
The one that's green.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Let's see it here.
Whoa!
Look at this.
Wow.
Just exit this fucking ad here. Look at Joe Thomas.
You need some Pampers.
Look at what this guy did. If you're on audio, I'm sorry. Go to YouTube.
Well done.
Way more fun. Unbelievable. Like,
yeah, because that's what I mean. It's
athletes are nuts.
It's completely different.
Athletes are nuts. Yeah. So much fun.
Even though, dude, have you seen the Big Show? Well, I guess he's not the Big Show now. He's Paul White.
No.
Paul Wright. I can't remember. So he did the same kind of thing. DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, is like a yoga thing, which like has changed so many people, like especially wrestlers, like how their body, how they live, and like how they're like just their overall lifestyle. And like the Big Show came in, you obviously saw how big he was.
Yeah.
In WWE, and then he just like all of a sudden went away and just like started losing all this weight, and he actually built like he had like an 8-pack going on.
Holy shit!
Like he just looked incredible, like.
And it's just because I can see of him are still like WWE.
No, like he's not like. Hang on.
Oh, is this? Oh my god! I think I found.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Let me just throw this up here. Where is it? Is this the big show we're talking about?
This is the big show we're talking about.
Holy.
That's what I mean. That's what he looks like.
That is wild. Like, if you look at he's still big. I mean, he's always going to be.
No, he's a big guy. But now look at just like there's definition, and there's just like, it's not that.
He's got the beard. He's an attractive man.
He's a good looking dude. Hey. He's on AEW now. He transferred over.
Good for him.
Claiming them all.
Good for him.
They are claiming them all. Watch out, WWE. You want to get into a session about that? Get some more followers? We could chat AEW.
I could not talk. I don't know enough about current WWE to talk about anything. I haven't watched since I was a kid.
Yeah, current WWE sucks. It might be seeing its end. Can you imagine that?
Really?
Oh, it's bad. When you get some free time, really free time, don't look into it. Don't waste your time, but when you get some really free time.
I'm pretty good at wasting time. That's what I do. We have wasted a lot of time.
Absolutely. That's what we do best.
I think that might just be what the podcast is, and I don't think we need to be serious in sports. We're not important. I think that's what I've taken away from the last little bit.
We don't have many.
Our opinions on sports really don't matter. It's the same as every other media member in the world. So,
you know what's funny? Your opinion on sports people matter. That was the funniest thing.
Holy shit!
I just look and all of a sudden, you're popular for.
Every now and then I'll throw off the dumbest take I'll have, and those are the ones that hit, and people just start responding to it. And I'm like, man, this one was not that serious. Why are we all having a debate in my mentions?
You had some retweets. You had some likes for sure.
I as much as I want to be liked on Twitter and just people just enjoy what I have to say. I hate it. I hate when it happens because it's just so many people want to go back. Everything that blows up is controversial, and then people just want to argue back and forth in the replies. And I'm like, man, I don't want this. Who cares? It was a dumb take. Whatever, it happens. It happened earlier in the year too when I said I made a joke about the Jays, how I thought they should finish fourth because they didn't re-sign Robbie. I'm like, hey, I love Robbie Ray. I'm gonna miss the shit out of that guy. It was a joke. I said, hey, I hope they finish fourth. Man, I got shredded.
You know what's going to happen?
People in that one. I'm like,
you know what's going to happen? One of two things. Yeah. One, they could finish fourth for sure.
Sure.
Crazier things happen.
They did this year. What's the difference? Exactly. I didn't even say anything egregious. It's they're going to be exactly the same.
At some point in the season, I bet you half the Jays population will say the same damn thing.
Yeah.
They're going to finish fourth this year. That's it. It's done.
Sure. It's possible.
Sell everyone. Get rid of Vlad. Whatever. Fuck it. Yeah. They guarantee we're going to be.
It's such a hostile environment.
Exactly.
It is.
We have seen this organization go from Josh Donaldson, Jose Batista, balls leaving because the volume takes it out. It's not even their hit. It's just the sound takes the ball out way further. Yeah. To games where you and I could probably hit up every section and not be checked once.
Yeah.
Just we're going to go here.
The glory days there for a couple of years when there was just seats everywhere. Now I think we're back. I think Blue Jays baseball's back, and I hope. I don't really hope the Jays finish fourth. I don't think anyone that responded to that tweet is going to listen to this because I don't think they like me anymore.
What then? If they want to argue, if they want to comment here, we can make this live. We'll go live if you want.
Maybe one day we'll start doing these live. It's more fun.
And then
we'll get people talking.
Then people can just comment there. Save it for that. We'll set up a scheduled time. We'll let you know on the Twitter.
Yeah, why not?
And then boom.
If you are listening, I apologize if I offended you by saying the Leafs should finish fourth. I didn't mean it.
Not the Leafs, the Jays.
Sorry, I hope the Leafs finish fourth. Fuck. The Jays. I hope that the Jays
right now. Yeah.
Because I obviously don't look at behind me. I don't actually hope the Jays finish fourth. They're my favorite team of all time.
I saw a thing today that said name a player that should have a statue outside of a stadium, and immediately I just said Joe Carter. Of course, he should be doing that.
That whole
whole thing. Never mind. No, but the whole thing, and I want that outside so that everybody, you know how many pictures are going to be taken with drunk people of just doing the Joe Carter.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the point. You could even put one of Edwin beside if we really want.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
No, I'm here for
just
it.
For shits.
I'm here for it.
But I said Joe Carter because Joe Carter deserves his statue out front.
Yeah.
If he does, there's who is there anybody out front? We
have nothing at the Rod. They have that weird statue on the front of the Rogers Center that has all the people pointing and cheering and stuff.
With all the baseball
crowd or something. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. It's weird. I don't. I like it. It's just it's iconic, but it's weird.
It's just called it weird 8 times, and then I like it.
It's weird, but I like it. It's
weird.
It's like me. It's weird.
Weird.
Oh, you keep me around.
But you kind of like it.
Yeah. Exactly. I have no idea where we're going with this podcast.
It's just kind of going. Why? No, we don't need to go.
Hey, have you seen Spider-Man?
No, see, I haven't. I've been waiting. I know. See,
have you had it spoiled for you yet? Like, is that a thing?
I've had
without saying anything.
One of the things spoiled, but I already knew. You know,
right.
I'm one of those people who will check the videos beforehand of like, hey, here's some things that we picked up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like to see things in the trailers and stuff like that. And one of the things that I'd already seen kind of tipped off the big. I won't ruin it for anybody.
No, obviously, like I don't want to fucking spoil it for if you haven't seen it yet. I don't want to spoil it for people. But like, great movie. That was the thing though. Is like coming into the theater. It was like the weeks prior. Like my brother saw it. They got a bunch of tickets for the one night, but I had to work, so I couldn't go. I'm like, I'll go another time. Right. And then I had tickets booked for like 3 days later, and then we were exposed to COVID, so we couldn't. We didn't think it was a good idea to go, so whatever, we didn't go. And then 2 weeks go past, and I saw so many things on Twitter that just spoiled it. I'm like, I hate this. I'm like, I just got to go. I don't even care because at that point I was good. I hadn't had COVID. I was fine. I'm like, you know what? We're going tonight, 10 o'clock. I'm booking it. Boom. We just decided like 15 minutes before the movie, like we're going. Great decision because I'm like, there's a lot of stuff I've seen on Twitter afterwards that would have spoiled the entire movie. And I'm like, hey,
see, that's the thing. I was able to stay away. Yeah. I've heard it was absolutely great. I'm gonna get it when it's free for sure. Like I'm sure somewhere is gonna post it.
Yeah,
I did that with the Eternals. It was a good thing I did. I wouldn't have wasted any money on that. It was okay. We went and saw it in theaters. It was okay.
Yeah,
you know, but that was the thing. That was one of those movies I was humming and hawing about. Spider-Man, love it. Can wait though.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, going out to the theaters, it used to be such a fun thing because it was kind of like cheap.
Yeah, it's not anymore.
Seeing a movie was like maybe a $20 experience. Getting into the movies is now a $20 experience. Yeah. Never mind getting.
Well, candy. Now you can't even get popcorn and shit. Like you can't eat in the theaters anymore.
So like, can I bring my own? Like, no. What's the deal? Exactly. No. I got to sit there. I got to watch a $20 movie.
It's way more fun to sit at home and do it
that I can't own.
Yeah, not worth it.
Or we can rent it at home on my own TV with my own couch and stuff. You can have a beer, you can have a joint, you can have whatever the fuck you want. You know, you
live
can't
your life.
You don't have to have a mask on. It's your own house.
I think underrated movie going experience, the drive-in.
Oh, I love the drive-in.
Like it's not the comfort of your own home.
You've been to the one from like around the corner from my parents' house.
I believe, yeah.
The one in like Sharon, East Columbia, you know, like,
perfect. That's the only one I've gone to, but that it's not the comfort of your own home. But like, if you have a truck and like you bring your truck and fucking deck out the box with blankets and pillows and this, it's like a freaking couch. Dude, outside we saw in the summer when it's nice weather.
We saw Grease there, and all we did was we went in the bed of a truck.
Yeah,
put some blankets down or some sleeping bags. We actually had a speaker too, so it could like it was in the bed of the truck.
Yeah.
Popcorn away, like it was
brilliant,
fantastic.
Now everything's expensive inside, like the food and shit. Like, and you're like you're not allowed to bring food, but you bring your own.
Who's gonna check?
Who doesn't bring food?
What do you mean?
You bring your food, you get your own snacks. You're just chilling in your car. It's like $14, and like on a holiday, you get 3 movies. It's fantastic.
But that's the thing, though, is like it's okay if you get a couple of movies. Like I understand I'm paying more to like get in there, you know, have the experience of the drive-in. It's you know, you can kind of roam around. I remember at that one too, they used to have on the big screen, they used to have this little park.
Okay.
Because my buddy and I used to just run to the front. Yeah, and we would just go to the park for like half the time. You know, when I first saw Spider-Man 3, like the really horrible one, I thought it was a great movie because I saw it at the drive-in. And it was like, wow, I fucking love this. You could barely hear some things because it was, absolutely. We were dancing with him in front of everybody.
It's just terrible.
I did that move, you know. That's
part
where I
was
learned
a
from.
Nightmare. Yeah. Like it was a death trap.
Absolutely, but
like, I forget who it was, but there was someone around my life that like fell off of one of the teeter totters or some shit and just shattered their arm. Like it was a death trap. I don't know.
It was. That's why they got rid of it fast.
There's way too many lawsuits involved. Don't make it better. Just like
somebody probably said we're gonna get sued for that, and that was that. You know, that you should but that thing was great.
That was awesome.
Hey, did you watch I wish they would hang on. I wish they would show sports there. That's what I was gonna say. Is I wish that they would hold big events there. Can you imagine,
like on the off chance the Leafs actually they'd be that's like beginning of summer, I guess.
The Raptors, even though, like, right, if the
Raptors would have been a good one, they're dead in the middle.
Like, can you imagine, like in the summertime, you just have everyone drive in there, and it's just like mayhem. You would make so much money. Mm-hmm. Like you could charge whatever the hell you wanted to get in there too.
You could probably do it with the Jays, I think, too, because like that's October, give or take.
Sure.
I think you could do it. I think the weather's still nice enough. That'd be a blast.
That's what I mean. I think that there's a market here for drive-in for even like the sporting events, like
get rid of your stupid no food rule too for those nights. You like bring out like grills and stuff, fucking flipping burgers.
Okay.
That'd be great.
I think at that point then though, if you start bringing in your own stuff, you could have like different tiers of like, okay, well, if you're doing the whole like barbecue yourself option, it's like this much, like, so at least you make some money from them coming in.
I think you just up the ticket prices. You make it
for sure
$25-$30 because then it just accommodates people that would.
But that's the one thing. So football, right? Like how we're about to talk about football, like when we went to the games, like I'm sure we had different games, but same kind of experience where you're just like you're partying beforehand, like, and you bring your own beer,
parking lot party,
food. It does not matter because they know when you get in there, they're gonna get sales from you just being in there anyways. You're gonna need something. You're just gonna say, whatever, I ran out of this. I'm going to like, that's where you're gonna get your sales from.
Just have one day where you're streaming some type of sporting event and just like stock up on shit that's for tailgates. Like, why not?
We don't tailgate like Americans. I'm sure we've said this in prior podcasts. There's no chance that there's no way that we would get to any sort of experience. Now, also, I feel like our experiences are jaded because we are exposed to the Bills Mafia. We cannot avoid that. Bills Mafia is where we go. So, they are some of the
closest thing to us.
Right. So I'm sure I would love to go somewhere that's a little more. Never would go to see a Raiders game. I have no interest in Las Vegas.
See, I think the Raiders would be different now compared to when they were in Oakland.
When they were in Oakland, every video, it's funny. Every fight video you see was someone in an Oakland jersey. Like every game fight was just an Oakland fan versus somebody. Even Oakland fans.
Raiders fans were a little wild back when they were in Oakland. I don't know if Vegas is the same idea. Like, I don't know. People in Vegas just.
The funniest thing about that move was that Oakland petitioned to keep the Raiders name, claiming that it was like their identity. They want, because, the Oakland Raiders, like they wanted to keep it. They said, we should keep the name and you have to rename the team.
It sucks.
The NFL
that was fun. I'm surprised they moved. I don't really understand that one. But
you know what? It's the same thing from when they moved out of St. Louis. Like, it's not. The community itself really supported it.
Yeah.
But I think it was just the type of community that unfortunately was being brought into it. Like it wasn't the NFL.
Still a little wild.
That's the thing is the NFL is trying to sharpen their game. It seems trying to seem a little more professional. Absolutely. Right. So you want to move to these, and like Las Vegas is a no-brainer. Las Vegas for anybody,
it's just
if you're looking to build a team,
you put hockey there and it worked. Like it's crazy.
Because you know why? Everyone's visiting and that everyone's a fan for that night. Like whatever. I'm a Vegas fan.
It's just fun to go and it's an experience. The one thing I will say, Roger Goodell I think he has become arguably the best commissioner, top 2 commissioner among all the major North American sports. Because
this is recording. I had to double take just because you're about to say this.
I would say probably number 2. I think Adam Silver wins it by default.
I think Adam Silver does an excellent job of being like a
doing
forward
nothing.
thinker, but also being a forward thinker, man.
Not being an idiot.
You know what? One of the best things. I love these 10-day contracts for me personally. Like,
smart.
Hey, you know what? Why don't we give guys an opportunity? We know we have to exist in a world where this exists with us.
Yeah.
We're giving people opportunities. We've flexed it out that you can sign, this many people. And if you like a guy for 2 consecutive 10-day contracts, then sign him for the rest of the year. Like, what the hell?
And it's worked for a bunch of guys, right? Like
exactly.
I love it. I think it's smart. Obviously Silver had his own issues, but like that's whatever. They were not that big a deal. Roger Goodell, when I was growing up, Roger Goodell, terrible commissioner. I think he was easily the worst in sports.
Jesus.
But like, I don't know what happened, but Gary Bettman and Rob Manfred just like, no, this is our title. And they're just battling to figure out which one can be worse.
I don't know, man. I think Rob Manfred
Rob Manfred's terrible.
If you're free falling and skydiving, Rob Manfred just took the whole chute off before he even jumped out the plane and said, "I got this. I'm gonna fly."
Captain America just jumped out and said, "Oh, land.
I'm falling with style." Okay,
man, just awful. But then like Gary Bettman does the stupid shit. Like the HDA came out with their tape, super cool. Couldn't get any because it sold out in like 5 minutes.
Okay.
But the NHL didn't want anything to do with their whole initiative. They just straight up said, like, yeah, you can't use our NHL jerseys. You can't use anything NHL related. You basically can't even mention that you're in the NHL. We don't want anything to do with this. It's like, man, it's not that hard to go. Yeah, wear our jerseys. Support no racism. Sure. Like,
Yeah, but it's the same thing. Like the NHL is one of the few that has always debated, the Olympics, right? Like sending players to represent your country, which is like, I get it from a business standpoint. Like if your player goes off and gets injured there, you're the one footing the bill for that for sure. But at the same time, like these are people, man. This is what you play for, right? Like when you're growing up, a lot of people for sure, if you talk to them, it's like, I'd love to play for Toronto, or I'd love to play wherever I'm from, but I guarantee all of them will say, I want to play for Team Canada. Given the opportunity, if you had a choice between Toronto or Team Canada, which one would you choose? Right?
They've bungled the Olympic things for, was it 4 years now, 6 years that they've been working on this? It's garbage.
They need to just let them back. The game over there, the Olympic game, is not the same that the NHL runs.
No.
Right? You're getting the best of the best who understand that. And sure, there's contact involved. That's hockey. Right.
I get they were afraid that if someone gets COVID, they can't come back. Sure, I understand. It's whatever. Okay. There's nothing you could. This was just. This was the outcome from the start. They weren't having
for sure.
Like, there was no point in time. They drew up that contract so they wouldn't have people go. It
for sure. I just hope to see in the future though that they're not held back because of these are our players. These are our money makers.
Yep.
Because people are still going to go to the games. There's enough talent in the league that you're always going to have somebody to bring the attention of the crowd, right? Like,
yeah, that's the thing though, is like the players at this point, like this is the most talented the NHL's ever been, but there's zero growth in the NHL. You're looking at a commissioner that has no idea how to grow the sport of hockey.
You want to grow it look at all these. The international is like. Adam Silver figured that out. International game has grown so much more. Even the youth game has grown so much more. Hey, you know what? If you want to get a job at 18, for sure. If you want the NBA to be your job, come on down.
Yeah.
Like this is it then. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to earn your way. You know what? Don't go to college for sure. Some people don't. That's on you. I'm not like, they're not babying you anymore. Yeah. They're like, for sure, come in.
Meanwhile, you got the NHL out here fucking advertising Wes McCauley like he should be the thing we're watching. Like, I don't care about your officials. Why do I ever see Wes McCauley on my television? I don't care. I do not give one single shit about Wes McCauley.
Officials are people too. Okay, you got to care about.
Oh my, sure they can be people. They're not the people I pay to watch.
They're funny. I like the little bits.
No, I hate it. I can't stand Wes McCauley. That whole fighting, like, shut the fuck up. Do your job. He's not even a good ref. Like, be a decent ref and you can do stupid stuff like
getting the calls would be important for sure.
Oh my God. Get it right. Get maybe 3 calls a game right. I'd be so happy.
Look, they're trying to build but they personality. They're trying to do a little bit.
Do it with your players.
Yeah.
Stop using that wet paper towel Connor McDavid as your poster boy. And use some of the guys you have out there that are full-on personalities.
Look, we need a fan base here, okay? You're going to lose all of the West Coast if you keep mouthing up. Well, all of the upper West Coast.
I'd rather use Leon Draisaitl as the poster boy on that side. At least he's got personality to him. He's a meathead, and he's a bit of a baby. But like,
that's exactly what you want.
Way better. Why
do we hate when players talk like that?
That was fantastic.
I love that. You absolutely asked a stupid question. What do you think is the one thing that we need to change or you need to change to start winning again? Like, what's this man going to do? Go, hey, Mike Smith's actually pretty garbage. Goaltending really
unpopular opinion.
It's a liability. Like,
fantastic question. Like,
right.
It was not a good question, but fantastic question to throw out there because they got an answer and it got an answer that I wanted to hear. Like it had nothing.
I'd love to see that.
The answer had nothing to do with the question, but it gave me something other than, oh yeah, we got pucks in deep and the defense just isn't working out. Like, who cares? But when you come back with that whole experience, fantastic. That's way more fun to watch.
We'll
throw McDavid out there and it's just like
man, he couldn't do it.
Face. I'm like, stop putting him in front of the mic. Brandon Perlini went in front of the mic and was way more entertaining to listen to. Like, give me more of that. Stop. The camera should
have cut over to McDavid at his face, like, oh, don't say that. Oh gosh, Leon.
Stop media training these guys. I think that'd be the best thing. Just don't give them media training. Just let them say what they want. Hockey would go.
Some of the great people like Marshawn Lynch, you love it. He did what was necessary. He took some fines. Who cares?
Sure, but it was fun. Marshawn Lynch was like a worldwide story. Like, everyone knew about what he was doing.
Exactly.
Like, it was fun. It spilled out over football, and it helps.
I don't know why. Why does the NHL protect the reporters so much? You know, like these players are they're requested to be there. They have to be there after everything. You know, you lose a game, you got to sit in front of these guys.
Ask the same stupid questions,
and they just like sit there almost like, oh, I get to ask these questions, and you guys got to answer them the same way, and blah 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 blah. Blah. And then they poke and they poke and they poke, and then when they get the reaction that they should always get. Then they're like, "Oh, why are you being so upset?" Like, dude, roll with it. I would have rolled with it completely.
They've got this super buttoned up, like.
I would have said, "Do you think it's an attitude thing?" Yeah, like you could have gone with it. You said, "Oh, I think it's an attitude thing." Personally, like,
give me a war like that in every single press conference.
Yes,
why not?
Loved
like,
it.
What do we? I don't want to hear guys talk about the same thing anymore. It's boring. Just don't do the. If we can't have more press conferences like that one, don't do the press conference.
Why? Why
ask questions that are actually entertaining to listen to?
You'll get tougher reporters. You'll get more honest answers.
Mm-hmm.
Like
if I hear like what do you think happened out there one more time?
Right.
I'm gonna lose it. I don't want to hear that anymore. I'm done with it. Oh, what do you think's wrong with your team? Who fucking knows? That's not my job. Ask something that entertainment.
Again, NBA kind of has that moment where they let some players just say some things and they almost just let it roll. Like there's not, for sure, maybe there's some fines within the organization, but it's not like they're coming down saying, "Oh, you're suspended for that one. You can't be doing that." I just feel like they're a little more laid back. And then
way more fun.
Trade request. A player literally comes out and says, "Get me off this team. I'm not playing until you do."
Yeah.
Right? Like that's beautiful.
I don't know, man. This league sucks. This is why I didn't want to talk hockey. It's a shit show.
It's just becoming really professional at a time where you needed some fun, right? Like I felt like before when we did the whatchamacallit, like when they were in the bubble playoffs,
right?
It should have been 1-16. Everybody's in the same boat now. 1 versus 16.
Start doing 15. Weird stuff.
Break it down like a bracket like that, just for fun. Exactly. Yeah. Just bring excitement back into it, right? Yeah. You did it with 3-on-3. Awesome. That was great. Bring back, honestly, if you were to say another 5 minutes added on to that, think about the excitement that would bring.
Hockey, this is an arguable opinion, but hockey is the greatest sport with the worst league.
The All-Star game, perfect example.
Why does that exist?
Because you got to see, it's a fan vote. It's a fan vote, right?
Know.
That's what everybody
Why?
Is. It's a fan vote. Look at it.
Why is it a thing?
The fact that in NBA, the fact that Klay Thompson's about to get in after playing 3 games.
See, the NBA is getting more fun. I like the year where Kyle Lowry just decided to start taking charges in the All-Star game and hey, that was a great game. Last year, not so much. Well, because that first one was fantastic.
There's no risk of injury, and 3-on-3 took that away too, right? Like 3-on-3 helped that now because there's so much open ice that it's like talent versus there's 2-on-2s for sure, but there's so much more. You don't have to worry about 3 guys coming behind you, right? It's 3-on-3.
I get why basketball has an all-star game. They can make that really entertaining. It's a non-contact sport. It's great. I think it's been fun. Baseball, hands down, the best all-star game of any sports because there's no contact. You just play your game. It's the same way.
So competitive too.
Yeah. The NHL has zero reason to have an all-star game. It's like a mini game at this point. It's not even a thing. Like why, especially this year where you couldn't go to China because of COVID, we're going to get all these guys together and put them in a game together, take all the biggest stars in the game and put them together in this petri dish of a game.
I would find
and then send them back to their teams. Like for a game that doesn't mean a damn thing.
I would find it so ironic too, so funny if this mass breakout happens and you have to cancel the weeks after because you lost all of your stars. Like you just decided.
I'm so excited for when it happens.
It's going to be
on top of that. You don't even bring the best players in the league. Nazem Kadri didn't get voted in originally. He ended up getting in. Fine.
Right.
Nick Suzuki's going for some reason because every team needs a representative. Like, what are we doing here? William Nylander didn't even get into that fan vote secondary thing. The guy's arguably been the best forward on the team.
It's sad.
What are we doing?
It was sad for sure.
I hate it. It's
a fan vote, right? That's the thing. It's the people that want to sit there and click the buttons the most. And you and I can complain about it for sure. I honestly have never clicked a button in my life for an NHL All-Star because it's whatever. Whoever's out there is out there. I love it that people sometimes will turn it away or maybe say they're injured, perfect. Like, I think if you want to go, just go.
I think
we'll be there.
Just show up. Hey,
just show up. Go be there. Go play.
Big pond hockey tournament.
Yeah. Why don't you make a team? There's the 4 teams there, and then there's like 2 teams of the rest. Whatever. You wanted to show up, the guy that just wanted to be there. That's it. If the first 30
I had nothing better to do. I didn't want to take a week in Cancun. I wanted to go there.
Exactly.
I wanted to go to the All-Star game.
Exactly. It's an All-Star game. Like
the biggest argument for it is that it grows the game. How? Who does this grow the game for? Who tunes into the All-Star games?
It's
for kids. It's for kids.
For sure. They've made a weekend out of it.
It's for kids that are already fans.
See, NHL has tried to copy what NBA did, and they made events out of it. So it is like a full, they do have more sponsorship opportunities.
I think they should just have a skills competition, and that's it. Don't play the game. The game sucks. It's not worth it. It's not fun. Like, even for kids, it's not fun.
No.
Like, it's such a boring game. It's a bunch of guys that aren't trying.
The shootout,
McKinnon's drinking on the bench. Like,
the shootout's pretty fun.
The skills competition. I think it's cool. But I think what we need to do, instead of just using the All-Stars, I think they invite everybody that thinks they can do. Like Pete Alonso in the home run derby. Pete Alonso made the home run derby what it was, because Pete Alonso hits a shit ton of home runs. Yeah. Do that in the NHL. Bring Zdeno Chara in for the hardest shot. Why not? They're doing it with Zegras right now with the shootout challenge. Do it with Chara. Maybe he doesn't want to go, but bring in Zdeno Chara. Why not? Let him try and break his own record.
Yeah, fair enough. Just the guys that want to compete. I know that like even NBA does that, right? Like with the dunk contest guys. Yeah, like they're not usually anybody.
Nate Robinson was in it.
Right.
He wasn't an All-Star.
No.
Like, do that. Make it worth it. Like,
the last
that's the only thing people tune into. Make it the best possible version of itself.
Right.
And then the All-Star game, who cares? I don't even think you need it. Just dumb.
I mean, just be more relevant than the football All-Star game, and that's it.
Yeah.
The Pro Bowl.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl is just awful. It's not.
I think what makes it the worst is that they put it the week in between the play, like the final playoff round, and then
just
the
hype
Super Bowl.
Football, and then Pro Bowl, and then
this
Super
is
Bowl.
What I'm saying, like, really, NFL has done a great job of teasing the fan to the point where it's like, hey, we give you some football, and it's like, you maybe get some Thursday night, you get some Sunday night, and you get some Monday night, and it's good because now you've had games postponed, so Tuesday, so realistically you could have 5 nights of football at any given point. But NFL just like kind of teases you a little bit, and they're like, okay, guess what? We're done the championship games. Now we're gonna go watch everyone who just got kicked out play and do a little weekend.
Here's all the losers.
And here they are somewhere warm in Miami. Like they're always in Hawaii.
It was great when it was Hawaii because like at least the players were playing for something.
But they in Florida
Hawaii and like, hey, that's cool. Now they're not even doing that. It's like, well, why not? Where are we at here? The last time,
we're on a Tampa.
For what, 4 years in a row they haven't done Hawaii? That's just awful. Stupid.
Dumb. But yeah.
Whatever.
We can talk football quick. I gotta eat soon. I know that.
Okay.
We can get into it. As I did watch.
First round was fun, but it was blowouts everywhere.
It went pretty much how I expected. Obviously, we're in that week. I know you guessed everyone.
Nailed it.
I don't know why I didn't trust the San Fran. I think they just thought they were more injured. I
didn't think San Fran would be that good.
You know what, though? This also just confirmed to me, and I said it afterwards. I said, Dallas Cowboys are the Toronto Maple Leafs of the NHL, and you need to learn from it. And I'm going to learn from it.
Dak Prescott, what are you doing? Like, dude. I get what you're trying to do there, and the play makes sense.
I get the play.
You just threw 4 straight passes to the outside that got you 15 yards every time. Do it again. Do it 2 more times.
You were carving them up. It wasn't even
They didn't stop you once. One single time.
Even if you throw, I just think that if you throw the ball, it gives you like you're almost faster to the line. I don't know, like
because you can get the ball there, hand it to the ref as a receiver. You get the lineup. Like running takes a lot more time. It
was a weird call. I get it. You don't want to shoot for the end zone from 41 yards, but then shoot for like an out of bounds. Don't run the ball. if you're gonna run, shoot for a screen then with everybody
outside.
so that you can like go outside. Yeah, like if you're getting yards, make sure that you're close to the end zone. Like, don't just take the middle because they're giving you 20 yards. Like, for sure, they're giving it to you because they know that you can't pull off another play if you run up there. You know,
yeah.
Like it was such.
And then he blames the refs.
He
blames the refs.
No,
like no, dude, no. The refs did their job. You
honestly,
guys took a lot of penalties. It was terrible.
You better thank the guy that was working the clock because I'm pretty sure he just kept hitting pause like quickly
like,
so that you know.
Sure?
Like, yeah. Come on, get the play going. He tried to help you out.
Oh my god! Like
it just
the fact that like he came out in the interview after because people were throwing bottles and shit at he thought it was at the players. He's like, I don't think that's respectable. And then someone's like, no, they were throwing it at the refs. He goes, oh, I get it.
Right.
Like, no, man. Like, no, it wasn't their fault. They didn't do anything wrong. They did their job. You're the idiot here.
Yeah. I just think there's so many better plays. There's so many different options to go. I think that's honestly on a coaching standpoint.
Yeah.
As well.
Mike McCarthy, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure it is. Right. It's the same thing as Aaron Rodgers ran into this too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not uncommon that your coach and the play caller, if the play caller especially isn't the QB, if there's not that much trust in it, and you get that with a new relationship, right? Like the head coach has one vision and I'm sure the QB's got another. If they're not identical, you got to figure it out or you don't survive together.
Yeah.
And
they don't have it right now.
This is not surviving together. Tell me how that Dak Prescott can have, let's say, a top 5 running back.
They were the best offense in the NFL this year.
Okay.
In the regular season.
Name me another team that you could easily list top 5. Like the only thing they don't have is probably a top 5 tight end. But like
Dalton Schultz is a serviceable tight end.
Tight end, especially when he's your 4th option behind Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and
Michael Gallup usually, but
right, but even Zeke, and Michael Gallup again, I think gets more looks because you have the first 2 in front of you. Like, I just don't understand where this team is not getting it defensively too. My gosh, I get it
for them defensively.
It was
they figured it out, but
Diggs has a lot of frustrating stats because
he's so bad but so good.
You're so bad but so good. That's exactly it. It was like a Jamal Adams thing for me, watching it all over again. It's like you have things that you do that make you look like you should get paid really well, but then
he picks off everything.
Yeah, I kind of have a Moneyball moment where Jonah Hill looks at me and goes, "You should have gone in the 5th or whatever." I agree.
Hey, it's like you do something really well. The rest of your game is not there.
And that's what it is. Like Jamal Adams, when I looked at him, I'm like, you are not a safety. You are like a linebacker. You could even be on the line if you really want, because that's where you are always. Don't hide it anymore.
Yeah.
The extra 3 seconds you're taking a run from over there, just run around the guy. Fuck it.
Just get a little closer to start with. Why not? Yeah. It's rough.
It just, that's a team to me that needs big changes. This is your get rid of Amari Cooper year. This is
maybe. I think Dak's your guy. I think Dak's a decent quarterback.
I don't think Dak's bad. I don't think Zeke is bad because Zeke build off the run though, right? That's the one thing.
Use him that was
as a Patriots fan, man. We've lived and died by building off the run. Like Mac Jones can throw on 3rd down. He will surprise you with a 2nd down, 1st down throw, maybe.
Couldn't really throw a lot of anything.
Not in the Buffalo game. Buffalo's unreal right now. Buffalo's on a roll.
Oh my god.
But Micah Hyde, sorry, but good for you,
dude.
Greatest interception.
We'll get to Buffalo in a second. Just kind of closing thoughts on Dallas. Just rough,
but
they got to do something, and I don't know what it is.
And you're already sticking by your coach, so I think the biggest name, and the defense is great. Micah Parsons, Lawrence there, Van Der Esch, I think took a step back. He's also kind of injured.
He's aging a bit. And he's always hurt.
Right. Yeah. I think maybe you get something in the middle, but you don't defense, a lot of their places, they're top 5. So why are you going the first round?
They should be better than they are. I don't get it.
Especially against a San Fran team that just kind of they're a great team, no doubt, but they were also a hurting unit. They were also not a team that was confident.
Jimmy G doesn't have a thumb. He's playing without a thumb on his throwing hand.
Exactly. And yet somehow they're outperforming you. I get it. They ran the ball. I get it. They have so many different looks for things.
Yeah.
But did you see, speaking of San Fran though, quickly, did you see the 2013 Washington, when they were the Washington Redskins, their coaching roster?
Oh yeah.
When they signed Gruden.
It was LaFleur,
Shanahan and McVay.
Nuts. Like,
and they had Jay Gruden. They took Jay Gruden.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Yeah, that Buffalo game. Buffalo became the first team ever to play a perfect game on offense.
Oh, I believe it. Everything was working.
I'm surprised that was a thing. I thought somebody would have done it before. Yeah, first team ever. All touchdowns, no picks, no punts, no fumbles, no field goals. All touchdowns.
Buffalo just they've got momentum right now for sure.
Holy.
You know, don't tell Josh Allen that he's great.
I hope they don't do the thing because I didn't pick them in anything.
I didn't either. But that's the thing though, is there's so many teams that could make this case. And when I look at
right here,
when I look at Buffalo, the one thing that has never sold me is that I think you need a run game.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of these times. Okay.
Well, I don't even know his name. Jarek McKinnon? Was that who it was? That just what's his name?
No,
Singletary. That just ran. I was thinking of Chiefs for a second. Singletary just ran all over everyone.
I get that. But like now you're going up against better defense. Like Patriots defense, they're kind of aging in the middle.
They're just not really what they used to be.
We throw the same things, you know.
They're good. They're not great.
We're good. We compete.
Yeah.
We do our job for sure. But you know, we have games like that. I'm not saying we're at the Buffalo level this year, but now you're going up against like a Kansas City to get in there. You know, now you're going up against some real teams that have a lot better players. Like even just Patrick Mahomes. You're right. Josh Allen ran a perfect offense. He's going to probably have to do something similar to that because like we've seen Patrick Mahomes just get on the field in one play and turn the whole game around.
I think the big thing with Josh Allen is if you can shut down him running the ball, you have a good chance of winning that game. Because like if he starts running the ball, he opens up so much of that offense.
They underestimate.
You have to watch for that, so it leaves all of their deadly receivers open, and then you get a chance for Singletary to run up the middle. Like
that's your run game, right? For sure. Yeah. Like your quarterback can now be part of your run game. We're seeing that in this game where you're just drawing up plays for the quarterback to run, right? So like for sure, Josh Allen, if you feel comfortable taking off, then he did it. Like absolutely, it was a perfect game by them, but like
incredible.
You need that every game.
You need to do it again if you're gonna.
Yeah, it's not getting easier because like you have to get through the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are a team that have been there, done that every single year since Patrick Mahomes. Like
they've been there. They're either in the conference final or in the Super Bowl every year.
Right. They're either getting beat. You know, you're getting beat by like Tom Brady, who's like twice as a Patriot and as a like you know what I mean. Like that's kind of what's stopping you. Yeah.
It's the entire offense is going to run through Josh Allen, and what he does in that game is going to determine whether or not we continue to see the Bills after this weekend. But hey, after what I saw against the Patriots, man, I think he can do it again against the Chiefs.
This could be a Super Bowl in itself.
This could be like literally, if you put them in different conferences, they could probably make it to the Super Bowl.
Right. And this would be so exciting. It's such a big game. You know, like I'm glad that we're seeing this now because I think this is proving who's coming out of the AFC.
Yeah.
This is the game. Like I
still have the Bengals coming out of it. I just think they're going to be that sleeper team.
No,
I think these two are going to kick the shit out of each other. I think that's the big thing. They did it last year too. They kicked the shit out of each other in the last round, and then they ran out of gas.
For sure.
I think it's what's going to happen again, but we'll see. I don't know.
I think if Patrick Mahomes,
Bengals offense is so lethal, man. Like there's so many weapons.
Oh yeah, dude, they're getting better. But
yeah, I don't.
Tennessee is a team built on defense and a run
and
game.
Derrick Henry,
right? Which they don't have. Derrick Henry
coming. He's back. He's just back.
No, not a chance. Playing. Oh my god. Okay, I think he's more just.
They don't have Derrick Henry. It's not going to be Derrick Henry. I mean, I'm probably going to eat every single one of those words.
He's going to get 300 yards and
I was about to say the exact same thing.
You're done.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
But anyways, that's the thing. But Cincinnati is not like they're kind of a nameless defense in a way.
Their defense really isn't that great.
Yeah, and that's where now you're going up against like, you know, Tennessee.
Some better teams.
Tennessee is a very systematically built offense, and they stick to it. So like Derrick Henry went out, and they just tried to find a person that could run like him. And when they do, like they still built it off the run. Like they still run things the exact same. And that's where it's like you're now going up against a system that's really set. and a team that actually is expecting to be that upset themselves, right? You're saying that Cincinnati's your sleeper team, and I know Tennessee is the one, but does anybody pick Tennessee to come through?
No.
Like, no. That's the thing, right? So now Tennessee almost is your sleeper team as the one.
Yeah.
I
think a lot of that has to do with what's his name there? Ryan Tannehill. Like, I don't think Ryan Tannehill's just like, I want to say he's underappreciated a little bit, but like he's never been a guy that you're like, yeah, Ryan Tannehill, great quarterback. He's just okay. And he's never really been good in the playoffs.
He's a Jimmy G.
Yeah,
Tony
very
Romo.
similar.
Like, he's a game manager. He's a very good system quarterback, but he's, now you have to see a Ryan Tannehill that takes over a game or like not necessarily taking over a game and like, I'm going to throw 100 TDs, but like in the game, take it over, make the right plays, make the right reads, get your team down the field constantly.
Now, the thing in that matchup, the Bengals allowed the 5th least receiving yard or rushing yards all year. So if you can shut down Derrick Henry, I know it's a lot. It's a very tall task to just say, hey, shut down Derrick Henry. But if you can do that.
Shut down literally like the best player in the planet.
Yeah. This absolute wagon that just runs everybody over. Like, yeah, it's hard to do. I get it.
Right.
But like, they're built to do it, and maybe.
Oh, if any team's going to do it. See, the Bengals are young enough to think that they can do it for sure. They're
what do they have to lose?
Young enough, even in the
no
playoffs.
one really thinks they can do this.
I didn't even
expect them to be here.
No, see, I have them being here.
At the beginning of the year, I didn't have them winning this division.
I have them
with the Ravens and the Browns and the Steelers. Like, they were all playoff teams last year.
Never bought
the Bengals were just going to come out of nowhere. I didn't think that would happen. Joe Burrow shattered his knee last year.
I know.
And he came back and he looks better than he did in his rookie season. And I'm all in on Joe Burrow.
And what they did was they drafted his college broken wide receiver too.
The guy that couldn't catch a damn thing in the preseason. He had holes in his hands.
Now they're unreal.
He's been the best receiver.
And Joe Mixon,
top 5 receiver.
Everyone's got to give some respect to Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon resurrected his career again.
He's
crazy,
good.
Man. And like,
just, no, they're hot,
good.
But you're gonna.
It'll be a fun game.
But you're running into a lot of experience now, right? And that's where, like, how far is it going to take you? You need to be hot always, like, for sure. I get where the hype is, but now it's like you're facing the real teams here. This is where it'll be fun. Down.
I think this is their test. If they can get through it, I think they have a chance to make it.
Yeah.
I don't have them winning it, but I think they have a chance.
The other side, so what you have the Bills coming? No, you have KC.
I have the Bills.
You have the Bills in the.
I have the Bills and the Bengals in the conference finals. I could absolutely see the Bills walking through the Bengals too, though. I'm like, hey, maybe they'll just get lucky and the Bills will have a bad game. That was my only thought process in the Bengals, but it was one round. It didn't really matter. Yeah. The other side of things, buddy, the Rams are walking through this.
No, I know.
Did you see them?
You know what's funny? I said to a buddy, I was like, I think that OBJ is going to limit the Rams because Matt Stafford is going to get almost too focused, and he didn't like it. Just it didn't.
He used everybody. Cooper Kupp was he won the Triple Crown for receivers this year and had 2 receptions in that game, including a touchdown. But still, 2 receptions.
Right.
The arguably the best receiver in the year.
Because you know what the issue is then? You start focusing everywhere else and you forget about Cooper. And then all of a sudden Cooper Kupp.
You forget it. And then you forget about Cam Akers, who shows up after 1 week and looks elite.
You forget about Sony Michel, who apparently is the reason, like, is that pick before Lamar Jackson.
Crazy.
Like, why? Why is he that now?
That's rough.
It's good. It's good though. No, it's.
But like you have, like, just the receiving core is stupid. He just hit everybody. It didn't matter. I love if you're open, you're getting hit.
I love it for Matt Stafford for sure, but
I love Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
I really hope he does this thing.
But dude,
if anyone deserves a championship in their career in this league remaining, it's Matt Stafford.
Think about what they're up against.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. But
the defending,
but
the reigning,
yeah, like the GOAT. There's no way around it. But he has to deal with Aaron Donald coming at him every single play, and Von Miller, and everyone else on that line. And you're throwing at Jalen Ramsey half the time. Like, you have one elite receiver left in Tampa Bay, I'd say. Like, realistically, I think it's just Mike Evans. I don't think any of the other guys are.
Gronk always is a mismatch.
Gronk is a
build
tight
up the run. They just, I know all the things are there, but
you're one big guy that he relied on a lot last week is Mike Evans. And he's being covered by one of the best corners in the game. In Jalen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's going to be tough.
There's going to be
I think it's a really tough matchup for both teams. just what I saw out of the Rams in that game against the what was it? Cardinals. The Cardinals were good. The Cardinals were one of the best teams in the NFL at one point before they got injured.
Yeah,
they looked awful
before that
that game.
D-Hop. Yeah, but as soon as Hopkins went out, that was it. So,
They were terrible in that game. There was not one point in time where I thought the Cardinals had a chance.
Kyler Murray has this way of just looking so average at times. Like it's just, or almost
he didn't get it past their own like 30 for the first half.
Or almost looking like the same way, like kind of like Lamar Jackson does, where it's like, we get it, you can run, and we get it, you got like I don't know, like you do have an arm, but you don't show it. You just you hold yourself back. It's crazy. It's tough to see sometimes.
So weird.
But yeah, no,
I don't know. That Rams offense mixed with the defense. The Bucs have a great chance.
I just think the Rams are really new. You know, the Rams are still, you're like, at times though, we've seen
they're inconsistent as shit.
Yes. And like OBJ can be checked out so easily, right? That defense is the defense. The Tampa Bay defense, I get it. Like,
Tampa Bay's defense is good too.
They're always good. Yeah. And they're just, they hit you so hard, right? They're great. That's the thing, is that they're in your face always.
They've allowed the third least rushing yards and the second least receiving yards.
They frustrate you to no degree. So like, if they're going to say, you know what, run the ball at us because we're going to play your receivers so tough because that's your weapon, you know, then it's a run game. And then you're trying to outgame Tom Brady then. Yeah. You know, and that just doesn't go well for you.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's going to be a fun game. I think
I got the pack though all the way through. I don't care about anything else. The Packers, it's their year.
I just think if they're going to lose a game, it's this one.
Aaron Rodgers is going the last dance to the fullest degree.
I don't see them beating the Rams. Honestly, I don't see them beating the Pack or the Bucs either. I don't know. I don't like that defense isn't good enough to hold off either of those two offenses. Though.
But they have had a lot of key pieces out. Alexander has been out.
Sure.
And he is
back, right?
Another one of those shutdown. He's close to coming back, but if not this week, then you get
Aaron Rodgers is playing on 9 toes.
Great, love it.
Like
Aaron Rodgers is playing on a questionable vaccine status. He looks great.
He looks hobbled the last few weeks, and it's going to be a tough run to win 3 games in a row.
Count him out, and that's when he comes in. I love it.
Well, just throw COVID at him.
Dude, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, like he knows how to use those guys.
Yeah, they're good. I just don't trust their
system
defense.
No, I'm telling you.
I don't. The remaining offenses against them are lethal. Like you look at the maybe not 4 remaining teams. No, San Fran's not. San Fran's dynamic. Like having Deebo Samuel has a lot of pieces. Weird. Yeah, like, it's kind of crazy to watch them play, but they're not a lethal offense the way that the Bucs and the Rams are. Like,
no,
there's a lot of weapons in those two teams, and I don't see Green Bay's defense shutting them down. And then you get even if you make it to the finals, it's the Bills or the Chiefs, and both of those offenses are high flying. It's going to be interesting.
Dude, Aaron Rodgers.
Lots of people took the Packers. They have like the highest percentage of picks for the Super Bowl this year.
Seriously?
So I get it.
Shit. Yeah. I thought I was being original here.
No.
I didn't think
in our thing, I think they're not, but in the NFL's
our thing, there was a lot of parity. Bills. No, there was some parity though. You know, it was like
Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs, Bills.
I'm the
Bucks.
only Rams pick.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's funny.
2 people took the Cowboys.
Oh, I know one was Royce for sure. He's gone. He's done.
The other one, he took the Cowboys and the Patriots in the finals.
That's going to be a real rough go from there.
It's done. He can max out at 12 points now.
Ooh. I'm sure we're going to have people
14 points.
14, okay.
I'm at 12 now.
I don't even know what I'm at. I
think you're at 10 or 8.
Ooh,
you're not far behind. You only got one wrong, right?
Yeah, I only got
you're at 10. Yeah, you're at 10. I think who's your Super Bowl pick this year? You said Packers?
My Super Bowl pick is the Packers because I loved what Rodgers said. Like there was like this hatred between it, and he just like they both tweeted out this last dance thing, and I want them to hold all the cards. You know, like for you guys to both, like for Adams and Rodgers to kind of go off into this free agency and be like, look,
end up on a different team.
We just won a Super Bowl. They could for sure, but also I've always said this: like, go to Minnesota, man.
Yeah,
get Kirk Cousins right out of there. Find a way to relieve some contract if you want, but like, just I don't know.
Yep.
I think that it would be so cool for Aaron Rodgers to just end up
I
on
just
top.
don't like him.
Get two rings. I know.
I just don't like Aaron Rodgers.
I love that he's
as a human.
Them. I don't care.
I don't like him as a human. Speaking of people I don't like as a human, good riddance to Ben Roethlisberger. Played his final game in the NFL. We won't miss you.
No.
I still hate the Steelers.
Yeah.
The problem with the Steelers is that the guy coming up is a racist piece of shit.
The funniest thing is that they're sticking with whoever they
fucking you got. I mean, if they go, the most perfect move for them, for me, is they go and sign Aaron Rodgers, because then I still won't like them. I have no reason to like them at that point. But no, it seems like they're just content with either going with Rudolph, or who's the other one that they have? Was it Haskins?
Haskins, yeah.
Dwayne Haskins, who's just
a
character in of himself. Yeah. So good luck, Steelers. I hope you
enjoy
crash and burn. Man, there's so many guys on the Steelers I want to like. Like, I love Najee Harris. Great human being, great football player. Fantastic. Pat Fryermuth's a phenomenal tight end. Like, that guy he looked fantastic. Rookie, yeah. Looked great.
Second.
No, he's a rookie. You're right. He's a rookie. Yeah. TJ Watt, great guy, great football player.
Love TJ Watt.
Phenomenal defensive end.
I was hoping that when JJ Watt was a free agent that he was going to go to Pittsburgh and join us, but I would love to see that. Holy shit.
Minkah Fitzpatrick's still there, I think. I can't hate Minkah. Like,
the defense is good. There's
I like some people on that team, but
I know that there's an Edmonds
Tomlin?
brother.
Dude.
There's an Edmonds brother, a Bush brother on the defensive side. There's Joe Hayden. I don't know if he's still there. Yeah, like they have pieces. Right?
Mike Tomlin is one of my favorite coaches in the league. I think
he's one of the longest tenure coaches.
Yeah,
like Bill Bell. Like, it's funny.
Pittsburgh's had 3 coaches in their entire existence, and he's one of them. Yeah. I love him. He's great. But just the Pittsburgh Steelers as a whole are just so frustratingly annoying.
You know what it is? It's that black and yellow that
and
you
the fans
see.
They're obnoxious ass fans, and the fact that they have Ben as a quarterback with Mason Rudolph backing him up, and you have Juju on the one side and Chase Claypool on the other side. I like Deontay Johnson too. That was the other one.
Yeah, I do too.
But those two,
I don't like Juju at all. But
Juju's so frustrating, and
story for another time.
Chase Claypool's Canadian. I should like him, but I can't stand him. There's something.
I think he was just that guy, that receiver that like in Madden when you got a receiver in the end zone all the time. I think that was it. You just know it can go to him. He's got that whatever it is.
Runs his mouth a lot for
badge. Yes.
When he chirped the Browns too, I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
You're not established.
Why are you putting fuel in their fire? It's just stupid. I don't get it. Yes. No. Hey, good riddance to Ben Roethlisberger.
I think we'll end on that note. We will end on our good riddance to Big Ben.
Yep.
We hope that you see the rest of your. I hope you coach. I hope you're the 4th coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No, I don't. I really don't want to see him around football anymore. I hope he just fades off into the sunset and I never have to hear that man's name again.
I don't think he will. I think it'll be great.
I don't think he will either. I think you're right. I think you might end up doing it. Yeah. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, I forget how to end these things. So
just at the end, I think.
No, I mean, I forget what we said at the end. Follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, you just hit the end. We just say, hey, hit the end. The end. Boop.
Yeah, I forget all of our handles, but hey, I'll link them in the description below. Check out our merch. It's fun.
BnB Brand, BnB Brandon,
BnB Brandon, BnB _ Brand, BnB _ Brandon on Twitter. Right. I'm on Instagram. Brandon's not, but that's okay. I don't know what our Twitter is for the actual podcast itself, but I'm sure that guy that responded to me knows. So maybe he can help you out. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you soon. Hopefully we're consistent with this. So
we will be. We're on it.
We'll catch
you have our half word.
We have our very meaningless
sort of word.
Cheers.